Dear children, this is Mentors English Express and I am Sudha Oberoi. Today I am going to teach the children of class 10th poem number 2, Fire and Ice, from their English book First Flight. This poem is composed by Robert Frost. First, let me tell you something about the poet. Robert Lee Frost was born on March 26, 1874. He was an American poet famous for his realistic depictions of rural life and frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. In 1924, he won the first of 4 Pulitzer Prizes for the book New Hampshire. His poem Fire and Ice is a highly symbolic poem with an intense message. In this poem, the poet discusses theories that would cause catastrophic end of the world. Here's the explanation of the poem. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Desire means a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. Favor means approval or support. Here, the poet very strongly believes that the world would end either by fire or by ice. One group is of the opinion that someday the earth's core will get heated up, that it would lead to fire. Ultimately, fire would destroy the earth's surface, making it difficult, rather impossible for humans to survive. On the other hand, the other group says that if the temperature goes down, it will convert the earth into cold planet and it would also lead to the same catastrophic end. Here fire is symbol of greed, over-ambitious nature, which results in conflicts, fury means anger, etc. And ice is symbol of insensitivity, jealousy, enmity, intolerance, etc. Fiery desires have made humans highly selfish, which is a major cause of conflict among them, and conflict is the root cause of ruin because he loses sense of logical thinking. The poet also, with his own personal experience, supports the theory of the group which believes that fire is going to cause the end of the world. So we must try to be logical while dealing with others and should not let our emotions rule our minds. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Perish means to destroy. Suffice means to be sufficient. The poet says that if the world has to perish twice or thrice, ice would be equally competent to cause irreparable damage. Here ice stands for insensitivity, jealousy, hatred, enmity, etc. These emotions can cause imbalance in personality and can cause inner destruction, which again is responsible for destruction, though this destruction would be gradual. So the poet concludes that it is in the hands of humans to save the world from this catastrophic end. If humans lead a life of values and ethics, half the battle is won. His over-ambitious nature and the crave to reach the top sows the seeds of hatred, and he tries to cause harm to others as well as to the nature. So it is wise to control negative emotions to save the world. Let's discuss literary devices. First, the rhyme scheme. See first paragraph. The last word of first line is fire. It is A. The last word of second line is ice. It doesn't rhyme with fire, so it is B. The last word of third line is desire. It rhymes with fire. It is A. And last word again is fire. It rhymes with first and third line, so it is A. So rhyme scheme is A, B, A of first stanza. Now let's see the second stanza. The rhyme scheme here, the last word of first line is twice. It is A. Last word of second line is hate. Doesn't rhyme with twice, so it is B. Last word of third line is ice. It rhymes with twice. It is A. Last word of fourth line is great. It rhymes with hate. It is B. And last word is of fifth line is suffice. It rhymes with twice and ice, so it is A. So rhyme scheme of second stanza is A, B, A, B, A. Now let's discuss literary devices. First, the assonance. Assonance is repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. See the last line of first stanza. I hold with those who favor fire. Here O sound is prominent. Next device is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sound at the start of two or more closely placed words. See the first stanza, first line, world, will. Here W word is prominent. And see the last line of first stanza, favor, fire. Here F sound is prominent. Next device is imagery. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their five senses. See, first stanza, first line, some say the world will end in fire. And see, stanza 2, third line, to say that for destruction, ice. Here, the reader can imagine fire and ice causing irreparable damage. Next device is anaphora. Anaphora is the repetition of a word or expression at the start of two or more consecutive lines. See, stanza 1, line number 1, some say the world. Line number 2, some say in ice. So both the lines start with some say. Next device is personification. Personification is to give human qualities to inanimate objects. In this poem, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Thus, the poet personifies fire and ice by giving them power to destroy anything. Next device is enjambment. When the thought or clause does not come to an end at a break of a line, rather it moves over to next line, it is enjambment. See, stanza 1, third line, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here you can see the thought of line number 3 continues to line number 4. That is why it is enjambment. Children, if you have enjoyed this video, like, share and subscribe it. You can also write your comments in the comments box below.